Welcome to the Clawcast podcast, the shell-shocked edition for 2025. Actually, this is the holiday edition, and we're excited to bring it to you as we close out the 2025 portion of the school year. We are back this year talking to our wonderful staff and students, getting to know them, find out what makes them tick, why they're so awesome, and what a way to start our year off in terms of our podcast presentation and close the year with none other than our Director of Bands, the wonderful Mr. Michael Baker. Mr. Baker, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Mr. Shell.
Thank you for being here. We're very excited to have Mr. Baker and get to know him a little bit, find out what he's all about and what's going on with our band. So we're going to start with, Mr. Baker, a little bit about you and your background. If you don't mind telling all the people, the millions of viewers, what is Mr. Baker all about? Professionally, personally, maybe even a little bit, and what's your background?
Hey, so currently in my second year as the Director of Bands at Clawson Public Schools, which is pretty cool. The short and sweet of how I got to this point. So I grew up in what you might affectionately call a non-musical family. My mom, I know she sang in choirs a little bit in high school, but that's come and gone. Nothing close to a band instrument anywhere in my blood. And I wasn't interested in it either myself, to be quite honest. However, in the district that I grew up in, I was a Lanphier kid.
Yeah.
Go tell anyone.
Crosstown guy.
Yeah, a little bit down the road.
All right.
Everyone had to at least give a good go at a band instrument in fifth grade. So if I had to do it, I was going to play alto saxophone. But I have a friend, his name was Eddie. He said I absolutely had to try the trumpet because it makes your lips feel funny when you play. They vibrate in the mouthpiece and it tickled a little bit. So we get down to the gym in fifth grade and I try out this trumpet and I get a sound, and for the record, it did feel pretty funny. And then this lovely fella who was fitting me, he said, "Good job, buddy. Now go back to class." No alto saxophone for me. So I'm off to fifth grade band. Something I wasn't looking forward to on an instrument I didn't want to play.
Okay.
I tried to quit a good handful of times, but unfortunately my mom had already made a handful of payments on the instrument, so I was sticking it through. Now my attitude towards band changed in a pretty major way shortly thereafter. So my father was not in wonderful health and he was out of the house for a couple days. We don't know what the deal was, but I do remember distinctly, it was about November, my little brother, myself, and my mother, we were sitting in the living room and she received a phone call. And she started to cry, which is sort of unusual for her because she was a pretty tough lady. She got off the phone and we'd asked her what was going on, and she said, "No punches pulled, that our father was in the hospital and they weren't sure he was going to make it through the night." Now, toughest fella I knew, I thought he was going to be all right. Unfortunately, next morning we received another phone call and that was it. That was the last I ever got to speak to him. A couple of weeks go by, we were out of school for I think 2 weeks, and those were some tough times, you know. Yeah. It's a lot of life to come to grips with when you're in sixth grade. But time comes back when life has to carry on and we had to go back to school. So math, social studies, science, English, wasn't interested in any of it. But something pretty incredible happened when I got to the band room. So I remember we had our first piece of sheet music. Real deal, no longer out of the method book, but full page of music. I remember when we started rehearsing it, it was the most incredible thing I've ever experienced. It was like for that little bit of time, all my troubles in the world just sort of melted away, even with a lot going on in my life. Yeah. Band quickly became the place where I could check my baggage at the door and enjoy doing something beautiful with the friends around me. So it didn't take me long after that. I remember it was the holiday concert, which is coming up for Clawson Public Schools, where I performed that piece for an audience, probably my first time. And I felt on top of the world. And even in sixth grade, I made a pretty big promise. I said I was going to spend the rest of my life paying that story forward. Young for a promise like that, but I meant it, man, through and through. Wow. So many years later, working as hard as I could, be the best I can be at music, handful of degrees and a good bit of experience under my belt. I'm currently in my second year and Clawson Public Schools is the Director of Bands, where I get to pay that story forward every single day.
Living it.
That's pretty cool.
You're living it. Speaking of living it, incredible background and story. Thank you for sharing that. Outside of school, outside of being the Director of Bands, and the beauty of the Director of Bands in this position at our school and in our small school is you're 5th through 12th. So if you're a 5th grade band student, students will have you all the way through their senior year, which is pretty incredible. So what about your love of music beyond the school day and what you do where you play, what you play? What does that look like from a hobby perspective?
Sure. So I always hold that to be a really good music teacher, you don't have to be good at an instrument, not required necessarily. You do have to be a fantastic musician, and that's not something that's developed by chance. It's something that's developed intentionally. So I do a handful of things to improve my musicianship every single day. First one, as far as my music leading, my directing of bands, I direct the Five Lakes Metro Brass, which you might best describe as a band of band directors. It's all adults. It's very high level music, very motivated group, non-competitive, it's wonderful. But I also play. I play solo flugelhorn, big position, in the Five Lakes Silver Band, which is the #1 brass band in the country.
Did you say the flugelhorn?
Flugelhorn.
Okay.
It's like a trumpet. It plays all the same notes, but it's prettier, you know?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a wonderful instrument, and you get a lot of solo spots for it. So, good instrument, and I perform in the top brass band in the country. Very cool that they're located in Southfield in our backyard. Now, we've won all the local events, the U.S. Open Brass Band, not golf, championship. We've won the regional events over in Dublin, Ohio, and we've won the nationals. So our biggest accomplishment came up a couple months ago. We were invited as the first brass band in North America in history to compete in the Swiss Open Brass Band Championships, which is a big honor for something like us. Sure. Now, the Swiss Open, for those who don't know, is a competition in Switzerland, in Lucerne, where they invite 10 of the best bands from around the world to come compete for their championship prize. We did that, but I think even bigger, beforehand, we took a tour in England where we performed with the best brass band in the world. Sat shoulder to shoulder with them. I even got to see them rehearse, see what builds them into the best band in the world. So once in a lifetime opportunity, both from a playing perspective and a music leading perspective. Wow. It's pretty neat.
What an experience. How did you guys make out in that group of 10 in Switzerland?
Yeah, so when they said they took 10 of the best bands around the world, they really were not kidding. We tied for last. However, between the tie, we took 9th place. The other group took 10th. So we weren't in dead last.
Okay.
Brass banding, it's British brass band they call it, and we were over in their home turf.
Sure.
Less developed over here. Yeah. They've been doing it for hundreds of years over there. So you learn a lot like that. We had a really good showing. We had a lot of compliments. There have been American bands who have gone to similar events in past, one or two of them. And a handful of the people who were walking around said, usually when an American band takes the stage, everyone goes and gets lunch. But we played a couple notes and everyone stuck around. So we're on up and coming, but there's a lot to learn. And we've done that by sitting with the best.
What an experience. And to be able to sit in front of your students and maybe even show them, I'm sure they've seen it a little bit, that you not only talk about it by day, but you live it by night, sort of. So what an experience for you and our students to know that you're doing that. So congratulations on that. Well
Thanks.
done. And so thank you for that background and what led you here. Now you're here, an integral part of our school district, not just the high school where your classroom is, but our school district. And just in year 2, the impact you've made is pretty significant. What is it about Clawson specifically for you that you enjoy so much coming to work? I mean, you spend a lot of time here. It's oftentimes you'll 5, 6, 7 o'clock you'll walk by the band room and you're in there and the door's open. And what about Clawson Public Schools and this place for you makes it special?
Sure. So I'm coming from an unnamed district, really big one, reputable. I taught, in addition to band, I taught a little bit of elementary general music. Kindergarten, man, I'm not brave enough. Scary times.
Tough.
Yeah, it's a tough crowd. People in the world braver than me.
Yeah.
I taught a little bit of recorder class in 4th grade, and we had a handful of drop-in students. People are new to the district, which was an issue because they bought instruments based on enrollment. So I had a couple of kids without a recorder, and we're talking $5 on Amazon. I had to go to war with some of my superiors, some of my bosses, to try and get these kids an instrument that they needed.
Sure.
The support wasn't there. The great part of Clawson is it's the closest knit community you're going to find. It starts with our leadership at the school. Anything I need, we don't have all the resources in the world, but Ms. Horn tries her best to make it happen. And the support goes all the way up and all throughout my peers. Right. But unlike my other district, I have people in my email from the communities asking to donate instruments. People just want to call and talk about the band program. It's a community where everyone is invested in everyone. It's not just band, it's not just orchestra, it's everything we have, from sports to our athletics to academics and everything in between. So it's not just a special place to work, it's a special place to be. It's the community with a big heart.
Yep. Well, as much as important as all those people are to you and giving to you, which that's kind of you to say, equal parts. I mean, you and performing arts specifically and the band are important to them and us. So it goes both ways. So again, we appreciate all that you do. Being that this is the holiday edition, we're closing out 2025, moving into 2026. You have a concert next week, big holiday concert. Looking forward to that. All three of our performing arts, choir, band, and orchestra next week. Looking forward to those concerts. So good luck with that. I know it'll be fantastic. As we roll into the holidays, 2 questions for you. One, big ones, hard hitting.
All right, let's hear it.
Questions, hard hitting here on the Shell Shock podcast. 1, your favorite go-to holiday themed movie.
Sure.
And 2, any plans or traditions with you and your family or friends around the holidays.
Yeah. Okay, so holiday movie. I usually don't have a whole lot of time to watch movies, but holidays, you get a little bit of time. My favorite movie is Home Alone 1.
Okay.
Number 1. It's got to be number 1.
Okay.
I remember when I was a kid, I was watching it with my aunt. I was real young. And you know, the scene where they're going through the house, the 2 burglars, and they're getting a little banged up. I felt so bad as a kid. She kept reassuring me, which is a weird memory, but it brings back all sorts of good ones for me. So I love watching Home Alone 1. We have a lot of traditions. The Baker family is a small one.
Okay.
Haley, my fiance, and myself, we usually start Christmas with the Baker side of the family. It's my little brother, myself, my mom, my aunt, and Haley, and that's about it.
Okay.
We spend the whole day in pajamas, we open presents together, which is fun and a good time to be with family. My favorite part of Christmas, my aunt, she bakes these no-bake cookies. They are the real deal, the bee's knees.
Okay.
Chocolate no-bake cookies, I could eat a whole plate. Usually they have to cut me off because I will.
Sure.
That'll be my breakfast, lunch,
It's a problem.
dinner. It's a good problem. It's the best problem, man. So that's the tradition. For me, it's the no-bake cookies.
Wonderful, wonderful. Love that, love that. Well, first we appreciate you, all that you do. Appreciate today and you being our final guest of 2025, giving us all the wonderful background, letting all of these wonderful viewers get to know Mr. Baker, the real Mr. Baker, and kind of the behind the scenes Mr. Baker. So what a pleasure to have you here today. Pleasure to have you a part of Clawson Public Schools and all that you do to impact our students. So happy holidays, sir.
Thanks, you too.